Hi, welcome to Spirituality to Sobriety. This is a channel that is going to help people to get sober, stay sober, and live sober through spirituality, as it has helped me. I'd like to first introduce myself. My name is Keith. I am 4 months sober. My goal here is to tell my story of how I got sober and hopefully grow with the channel my sobriety and share my strength and hope and stories and knowledge of sobriety and spirituality through this channel to hopefully help somebody else that needs help to get sober, stay sober, and live sober. So a couple bullet points I'm going to get through today. There's going to be an introduction into what the channel is going to be about and a little bit into my story, and then as the channel grows, it'll be as it goes. We're just going to let it ride, and this is hopefully going to help me maintain my sobriety and, like I said, help a lot others get sober and stay sober. So how spirituality got me sober. So for the past 2 years, 3 years, I've been getting into this spirituality thing through YouTube, listening to different videos, different people I was using at the time. We're not going to glorify any drugs or alcohol in here, but I was not sober. So I was trying to get sober. I was praying to get sober. I was asking God to help me. And, my daughter kind of went through this phase of seeing angels and seeing God and seeing Jesus. And, as a kid, I grew up Catholic. I was an altar boy. I eventually, when I was 18, got into drugs heavy and alcohol and forgot all that and just went on a run. And until I became 38 is when I got sober. So that's 20 years of just recklessness. And, forgot God, didn't really have anything to do with any of that. Religion was nonsense to me until my daughter kind of started seeing Jesus and God and Mother Mary, and she started telling these stories about the Bible and things. And me and my ex never talked to my daughter about any of that stuff, like that was a non-issue for me. And it was crazy how I would take what she said and then reference it to the Bible or things that I didn't know, and it would be true. And it's like, where did she even get this information? So it started me on this whole thing of like, maybe God is real. Maybe I should be paying attention. Maybe, this spiritual thing is real. And led me down a little path. I got an email from Melanie Beckner, askingangels.com, sent me an email about a meditation, a heart chakra meditation. I knew nothing about chakras. I knew nothing about meditation. Let me rewind a little bit. I was getting some messages into my head that said meditate and meditate and meditate. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, meditate. And I eventually got this email, like I just said, and opened it up, and it was a heart chakra opening. And I kind of was like, wow, that was kind of powerful. And then kind of started getting more emails, and then eventually YouTubed her and started doing these meditations. I was still getting high. I was still drinking every day. Then I did one of her meditations with this channel lady, and I had the most profound experience of my life. It felt like there was cords being pulled out of my back up to the sky. It literally picked me up, and I was walking on my tippy toes all day. that like all of a sudden I was now connected into the universe, and it was like mind blowing what had happened. And as the meditations went, I would, I mean, like I said, I was still getting high, and I was doing these meditations, and the meditations felt better than the drugs. And it was like, what's going on here? I couldn't break the habit, but I couldn't get away from the meditation and the spirituality. It just kept sucking me in and sucking me in and sucking me in. And I, all day, at work, getting high, still drinking, and listening to all these YouTube videos that keep popping up into my feed about spirituality or this or, all different sorts of forms of spirituality from all different types of people. And it just kept, gnawing at me and gnawing at me and gnawing at me. And I mean, I'll get more into all of that as the channel goes. I don't want to bore everybody with just, these stories. But what eventually got me real sober was I was like, I ended up moving from where I was to another location right by a river, literally with river view outside of my window. And I would meditate on a hammock looking at the river and, just praying like, please help me get sober. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just tired of this life. I'm tired of this BS. And one day I was just in a meditation and just something came to me, God or angels or, said, just stop. Just be completely sober, clear your entire body, clear your mind for 30 days. Just do 30 days and see how much better your life gets. See how much better the meditations get. See, I was like in a dire need. I was going to go to a meditation place for like 30 days and just do like meditations because I knew the problem was in my brain. And the only way to solve what my addictive problem was inside of me, not outside of me. It wasn't all the problems I had outside. It was something inside that wasn't allowing me to stop. So I knew I had to do some sort of meditation and work on it to get to the point that I could get sober. But it said, just give me 30 days. And a buddy of mine was in AA. And, this isn't going to be an AA channel. This isn't going to be, a God thing. This is going to be how spirituality got me sober and how to stay sober. I'm about throwing everything at the wall, and whatever sticks for you is what works. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, go to AA, go to all these meetings, and you'll be sober. Because, you know what? I've been to AA. Let me tell you this. I've been to rehab twice. Didn't work. I was sober for a little while. I always had a plan on how I was going back out. Been to AA, met a bunch of people, got phone numbers. I've had a sponsor, and then I just stopped calling and went back out, right? I currently have a sponsor. He's going through some issues, and we talk twice a day, every day. Now all of a sudden we're not talking because he had back surgery and all this other stuff, and I'm still sober, and it's not. I'm not saying that doesn't work for everybody. You know what I mean? If you got to go to AA and go there every day and talk to people, and that will keep you sober, do it. I'm all for it. I'm not saying don't. I'm just saying that's not what worked for me. It's, I'm not saying I'm never going to do it. I'm just saying the spirituality side of the thing, of how I can get more out of meditating and being spiritual and going inside of my body and feeling the feelings and knowing how to use the feelings that I was running away from by using and drinking. Like, oh, I don't want to feel that. I'm going to go get high today. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got problems and I'm going to feel stressed out. I'm going to get high today. Like, there were no problems when I was high because there was no feelings at all. There were zero feelings because they were gone. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get back to, I was meditating and it came to me, just give me 30 days. And you know what? I said, you know what? I'm stopping everything. I'm not, and I've been sober by not using drugs, but still smoking pot and drinking and calling myself sober, right? I mean, that's not sober. Sober is completely dry, you know? And I never learned that for 20 years of using and, you know, however many times of being sober, right? Okay, I just wasn't using the drugs that I was using that are bad drugs, but I was still smoking pot and drinking every day and saying, huh, well, these aren't that bad. So, you know, oh, they're legal, right? Some states pot's legal, alcohol's legal, so it's not really not being sober. It's not. Because we're masking those feelings that are actually good feelings that we don't understand how to use or feel the feelings. We don't get what they are. And until you start meditating and going inside and actually knowing what those feelings are from the inside and not allowing your brain or ego to tell you, oh, whoa, 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 what are those? You know, the things that your brain can't control are the things that they want you to run away from. You're talking about they, your brain, you know. But actually, the feelings is what creates your reality along with your thoughts. So if you just try to think your way out of everything every day, it ain't gonna work, you know? You gotta feel and think your way through life. And you can control those feelings by your thoughts, by your mind, and by yourself. You don't need drugs to run away from it or alcohol. You just need to know how to be able to handle them and do the things you need to do to control your own. You're going to go, no, no, no. I ain't feeling those feelings. I'm going to feel these feelings. Because these aren't going to serve me. Those are. That's how I want to feel. That's what I'm going to feel. If they feel bad, then let them go. If it doesn't feel good, it ain't God. And I'm going to talk about God and angels and that kind of stuff because it's real, it's true, and if it wasn't for my daughter proving it to me, I would be a non-believer too. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't think God or angels are real, you know, life's going to be a lot harder. And I'm not telling you that you just have to all of a sudden believe. Just give it a try. You know, do meditations. Just, you have to go inside your body and let go of everything outside. And you'll see reality. Because reality, how we think reality is not reality. It is so crazily different. And there's negative energy and there's positive energy. So good energy, positive energy, God, angels, divine. Bad energy, you know, the devil, demons, that kind of stuff. And they feed off of lower energy. So when you're on drugs and running away from those feelings and staying depressed, and everybody that's on drugs or alcohol has bad shit that happens to them, right? All the time, you know. Yeah, you have good days, but, you know, most people that I've ever met that are deep into drugs or alcohol don't want to be on them. But you can't get off of them because your brain is in the way and you feel bad feelings and just run away from them, you know, or you get sick and then they keeps you there and you can't get out of it on your own. And then, you know, rehab is too much for people. I can't do 30 days. Oh, because your life's so busy doing drugs, right? You know, or you got kids. Or your life can only get better if you put in the time and energy into it. And, you know, it's not this simple of just being mind over matter, but it is this simple of, you know, don't let your mind convince you of something that you're strong enough to do. Because you are. Like, I struggled for 20 years thinking that I couldn't do it. When at the end of the day, I sat in a meditation and said, give me 30 days. And I said, F it, I'm out of options. I've been down every road. I'm just going to throw everything out. And I'm just going to say, you know what? After 30 days, if it ain't working, go ahead. Go back to the way you were living. And guess what? It's more than 4 months, so I'm loving it. Has my life changed dramatically? Yes and no. I mean, I'm not a millionaire yet. I mean, I still have problems, but guess what? I get up. Do I deal with every problem every day? No, I can only deal with so many. So today, you know what? I'm going to deal with this problem because guess what? After 20 years of using and drinking and not giving a shit about anything except that, you kind of do some stupid shit to your life. And it's not going to be easy to get everything back or, I'm sure all of you can tell stories of all the money you could have had, all the money you did spend, all the people you lost, all the relationships that you burnt up, all the jobs you lost, all the cars you lost. Everybody's got these stories. Because why? Because the drugs were more important. The alcohol is more important. It ain't. You can get more out of meditating and going inside and feeling the feelings the right way than you did ever on any of the drugs. And I can promise you that right now from somebody that, as you can see in my beard, I'm very Irish, and I love my drinking. I used to go to the bar by myself. I don't need nobody to go to the bar with me, and I don't need nobody to do drugs with me. I will do it all myself, by myself, and that's it, And but I changed all that by a meditation that said, give me 30 days, and I said, let's do it. And I stopped more than that. I stopped eating bad. I'm not telling you have to do all these things. I'm not telling you got to do any of this. You know what I mean? I'm just telling you what worked for me, and hopefully somebody can take what I'm saying and go, hey, if he could do it, maybe I could do it. Or, you know what, I'm going to take this piece that he said and this piece and this and try this. And, as long as you have hope, you can do it. You just have to have hope and a little bit of drive inside to do it. And, meditating is not hard. Everybody wants to know, like a lot of people that I used to know that used to be on, used to go, hey, can you teach me how to meditate? I try, and it's not for everybody. YouTube a video how to do it. Listen to, find somebody that knows how to do it. Maybe one day I'll do a meditation session, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to teach you how to meditate. I'm just here to tell you about spirituality to sobriety. That's the name of the channel. That's what I'm going to work in the people. That's what I'm going to try to get out there. Because if you can go spiritual, you can go sober. And, we're all souls, so we all have a spirit. So we can all go spiritual. And that's one of the only things that everybody has exactly alike, is that you all have souls. You have a soul, a body, and a mind. That's how we're made. And you can use one of those things to get yourself out of addiction, because the other two are keeping you in addiction. And your soul doesn't want to be in addiction. You're doing the drugs is keeping your soul at bay. Deep inside, you keep pushing him back in or her back in, and keep pushing it down and down and down and down, and it can't get out, right? Well, if you just give it a chance, it can get out. So, God and the angels equal help and miracles. And let me tell you, since I've gotten sober, since I've gone down, that people call it the rabbit hole, on YouTube, and, every day, they say it's whatever, when the videos come to you, like, I believe that for some reason I get the next video that I need to understand. And this has been 2 years like this. Like, it's not like YouTube knows, like, oh, after this video is that video, this video is that. People are making videos yesterday and they're popping up, and it's my next move in my spirituality thing. Like, how did that person know that? Because we're all connected through our souls. Like, what you're going to need to learn, it's going to come to you. Your spiritual awakening is going to happen to everybody. How it's going to happen, you can either look into it and do it yourself, or it's eventually going to hit you and you're going to have to do it. Like, you're a soul that has a body and a mind, and the body and the mind are going to lose eventually, and that soul's eventually going to win. It's kind of like smoking, right? Smoking cigarettes. I heard this, somebody said this in a video today or yesterday, and it was like, you can either choose to quit smoking because it's unhealthy, or you're going to get cancer, and the doctor's going to tell you you're going to have to stop smoking because you have cancer and you can't smoke cigarettes anymore. Like your soul's eventually just going to go, yo, listen, I can't take this anymore, and hey, if you're like me and you've tried everything and you're sitting there praying to God or Allah or whoever you believe in, I don't know, the universe, please help me and save me. Like I was like, just save me. Like, I'm just done with this. I just don't want to live like this anymore. Listen, like, I'll even go this far and tell you, like, I tried to take my own life. I was so done with it all, and thank God I had a beautiful dog that basically saved my life from it. Wouldn't allow me to get off the couch to go do it. For some reason, she knew I was going to do that, and ended up keeping me there until I passed out because I was all screwed up, right? And woke up to somebody that came and helped me and wouldn't let me do it, right? So I've been at the end of every rope, literally, almost. No pun intended, but but meditation and learning what is reality, the reality around us is not what we all think it is until you get into the spiritual realm and the spirituality and figure out that, holy cow, this world and this earth is nothing like what anybody told us or what we thought that we were living. Like, there's so much more to it. Your emotions, your feelings, and your thoughts actually create the reality that you're living. And you're a magnet, and you pull in the things that you're putting out. So if you're on drugs and you're depressed and you're angry and you're pissed off and you're always getting in fights and you feel like everybody's always attacking you, and because that's the emotions and that's the attitude you keep putting out, and until you can change that or see that, which sobriety brought for me, was that, like, oh my God, I can change this. Like, if I just think positive, like, now I can see and feel and, like, hear the voice inside my head with the negativity, and I'm like, no, we're not playing that game today. All right, let this go out the window. I got to change everything. I listened to some woman, this was like years ago when I first tried meditation, and this is how, like, I started it, because this was when I was first sober. Like, one of the times I got out of rehab and I was like, oh, I'm going to do this, and started drinking right away, because that wasn't my problem, because, like, I spent all my money on drugs and didn't have money for alcohol. So, drinking wasn't my problem. It was just the drugs. And then eventually the drinking led to, hey, let's get high again. As most of you probably have been through and know. But anyway, Joe Rogan. Okay, so the lady on Joe Rogan was talking about meditations and how they did a test with soldiers that were in war at the time. And half the crew came back, and whoever, it was a voluntarily thing, and whatever ones would do the meditations, they would come back and meditate from 10 to 15 minutes after being out on duty. This was on their free time. They volunteered to do it, and then they would do it every day, 10 to 15. I think it was like 12 to 15 minutes or something. But she's like, I just had them sit there, think that they were by, like, flowing water, sit on a rock, had this whole image of this beautiful place, but had to have flowing water in front of you. And just sit there and just focused on your breathing, all right, with your inhales and exhales. And there was no, like, specialty. It was just breathe normal. and just concentrate on the breaths in and out. And then your mind, like the more you did it, the longer it would take for a thought to come up. But like, people that first started, it's like they keep popping up, popping up, popping up. And whatever pops into your brain, you got to take that, right? Imagine you take it and you're like, I'm not going to think about that right now. And you placed it in the water and it flowed down the river. And now that thought just went away. And now you go back to focusing on your breaths, focusing on your breaths, focus on your breaths. And I would set a timer and I would do, 8 minutes, then 9 minutes, then, every, couple days I'd go up another minute and I tried to, and it was hard. And there's this guy, Dr. Joe Dispenza, that talks about the hardest thing. He's a neuroscientist, or I don't know, he's some sort of brain guy. And very good. I mean, that's another name to look up, YouTube videos. But he talks about, meditations and how like you got to control your thoughts, but your body has been so used to doing the work, like your body will just like, yo, I want a cookie. Your body gets up and just starts walking towards the kitchen, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, I just ate 3 cookies. Like, oh, what's going on? Those are good. So when you're in the middle of the meditation, like you're focused on your breathing, the thought pops up, you want to, and then all of a sudden your body's like, yo, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's just get up. Because like your body's been running the show, your mind's been running the show, and all of a sudden you're like, no, we're going to sit here and do nothing, and we're going to like it. And your body's going to go, I hate this. And that's where like you got to take control back and go, no, listen, I'm in control now. We're going to sit right here. We're going to do nothing. And as soon as you start putting a thought in my mind's mind, I'm going to take it and I'm going to get rid of it. And then I'm going to sit here and focus on my breath until that timer goes off. And the longer you do that, the longer you take control back of your body, then the goal is that in your reality, when you're walking around with your eyes open, that you're not just, your mind's just not going, oh, think about this, think about this, think about this drug, think about, oh, look at that bar, let's go get a drug. You can just be like, I'm just going to walk and I'm not going to think about those things. And it's just not going to bother me because I'm not going to think about negativity. I'm going to think about positivity. I'm not going to think about anything at all. And that's where you take control back of your life. It's the thoughts from your mind that are just, it's habit. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, why aren't we high right now? Why aren't we drunk? Like, yo, it's 5 o'clock, the Yankees, or whatever, it's 7 o'clock, the baseball's starting, and I should be drinking a beer right now. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I should have smoked a doobie before I got like, it's just habit. Your brain's just going to throw these things at you, and you're like, we're not doing that anymore. This is different. I'm different. I'm going to sit right here, and I'm just going to focus on nothing. Or whatever I'm doing. I'm playing with my kids. I'm going to focus on playing with my kids, not I got to go do a hit, or I got to go do a bump. Like, I'm getting too sober for this. Like, yo, that's not living. It's not good for nobody around you. Like, you're so much better than that. And nobody really knows the person you are because you can't even spread your good feelings, your good thoughts, and your good love because you're just masking it all, making it all go away. You're just not human anymore. You're just... And these negative energies that feed off of negative energy are loving it because you're just feeding them negative energy. And, like, God and the angels are the answer. Like, whether you want to hear it or not, like, don't give your energy away to something that's just creating more bad. And that's all it is. Like, you're so much better than that. So I want to give away what I have learned, what has been given to me, and by doing that, I'm hoping to be able to stay sober with you, get you sober, stay sober, give a little bit of hope, and hopefully give some knowledge about spirituality, either as I learn it, as I see it, as I feel it, what I've already been through, my experiences, and hopefully, like I said, give some knowledge about spirituality, either as I learn it, as I see it, as I feel it, what I've already been through, my experiences, what I've already been through, my experiences, what I've already been through, my experiences, listen, I'm not the answer. I'm just trying to help whoever else needs it, because I know I needed help. And, you know, maybe by watching a couple videos, I can give you something that you can hold on to, something you could try, something to look into. I don't know. We could do this together. All right. That's the first video. Keep coming back. And I'm going to post one once a week. And hopefully we can do this for a long time together. All right. Thanks for watching. Peace.